What's up? What's up? Y'all know life be lifing. I'm your life coach Lala, your family, your friend. So grab you a seat, take a deep breath, and let's get into it. Hello, family. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing wonderful. I just got on here just to, talk a little bit about myself and my journey and what it took me to get here. So today's topic is about investment. More of investing, like what I learned from investing in myself and actually, basically investing in myself. And then what inspired me, to invest in myself and how I got where I am now. And initially, it all started with my weight loss journey. This is where this all started from, and from there, it kind of led off to I joined the Black Mastermind group. I ended up going downtown to Ready Hub. I was meeting with the Women's Business Center. Um, she actually was my coach. The director of the Women Business Center, I'm sorry, was my coach when I initially started going down there to Ready. Before they broke off and went back to CMCA or went to CMCA, whatever the case may be. But I just like I did do my life coaching certification through Forward Leading, which is Mark Jackson. I got certified as a transformational life coach through there. And what really got me here basically is definitely my weight loss journey. I didn't know what it was that I wanted to do because, of course, I have been doing IT for the last 5.5 years. I was doing system security, but I knew that I wanted, to help people. I wanted to get my story out there. I wanted to be able to relate and be that person, because when I was coming up and when I was walking this journey, I didn't see too many people like me. The way life coaching is now and everybody's talking about mindset and all of that, none of that was happening when I was talking about it. It seems weird to me to even be talking about it because it wasn't really a big thing. Now, you got Joe, is it Spinanza, whatever, talking about all types of things. There's all type of mindset. There's all type of life coaches now. There's all type of transformational coaches. There's all type of business coaches. Like, this field has really took off. It wasn't that much when I started initially doing it, because one of the projects was to do research, and there was not many in Missouri. There was not many in Columbia. Now there's a lot. But to get here, it did take a journey. It took, me putting in that effort, and actually, because I'm a self-sabotager. And what I mean by that is, like, I will make it all the way to the end and then give up. And I know that about myself. And what really changed that for me is when I took the Black Mastermind class. And I did that. I waited all the way. Like, I spent all of this time, spent all that money to wait all the way up until like graduation week or a couple weeks before graduation. And I decided to be like, nope, I'm mad. I don't want to do it. And I had to sit back and think, like, this is what you constantly do. You do this all the time. You have to change. If you don't force yourself to do it, it will stay the same. And when I tell y'all, when I got over that hurdle, when I actually held my own self accountable and forced myself to like complete that program, and I felt so like accomplished, because I have never pushed myself to even complete something, unless I consider it fun or I want to do it. But typically I let it go by the wayside. I'm like, I don't want to do that no more. And then once it starts getting hard, I don't want to do it. To where now I purposely go and that was my weakness. So I purposely go and I try to, or I am making that better. And by me to make that better, I purposely put myself in situations where I have to be stretched, where it is hard, because I was running away from the hard. I only wanted to do the easy, and there's no growth there. I didn't grow until I put myself in rooms where I felt uncomfortable. I put myself in on teams where I didn't know as much. I put myself on teams where I had to literally go and learn and research, and that's where I'm at now. Like, it is, I'm being stretched to max capacity at this point, because I am in a new career field where I do not know. It's going to take time. I have to give myself grace. I have to give myself patience, because it's not coming the way that I want it to come, which is good. Because I'm all about challenging myself. I'm all about pushing myself. And I know that eventually I will get there. And I'll be looking back at this video, and I'll be looking back at this whole situation like, this was easy. But I just have to get like a system down. I have to get some type of understanding down. But I will get there. And I say that just to say, you know, if you're thinking about investing in yourself, I say do it. There's no amount of money. And that was my biggest thing too. I was looking at the amount of money. Now, I'm not saying, you know, go in debt, but you got to think about it. If you want that purse, if you want that name brand purse, you'll go get the money for that purse. If you want to go on that trip, you will make that money happen for that trip. But it seems like when we have to invest in ourselves, we find a way to not do it. And I had to start investing in myself and actually paying for courses and paying for things to help me become more, to gain more knowledge, to have a little bit more understanding of the field that I was trying to go into, or that I went into. And in order to do that, I had to issue out some money. Now, along the way, I have had people, you know, gift me things and gift me courses and all types of things. And my plan is to, you know, pay it forward and eventually give that money back, or, you know, maybe pay for somebody else. But by that time, you know, the price will be up, and baby, I'll be making the money be up then. So hey, but I really appreciate it, because I sincerely could not afford it. And I've got all type of, you know, help, support, scholarships, and just people willing to give me a break and, you know, help me out and, you know, believe in me when I felt like I couldn't believe in myself. And like, you have to set these goals, and you have to put a due date on them. And I hate to say that, because I hate due dates. But I also feel like if you don't hold yourself accountable and have a hard by date, then it kind of just stay a dream. Like, typically a lot of people, like, we dream about things, we plan about things, we talk about things, and that's all it is. It's talk. You never plan it, you never like nurture it. It just doesn't do anything. It's just talk. You just talk about what it is that you're going to do, but you never plant the seed. You never nurture it. And if you do plant the seed, you don't nurture it. You don't follow through. It just goes away. Or you feel like it becomes too much and you just stop doing it. Whereas, like, this whole time that it took me to launch my coaching business, like, I could have been did this. I could have been made these mistakes. Because I believe in failing fast. We're all going to fail, but you have to learn from those failures. If something doesn't work out, be willing to pivot. Like, don't be so stuck on, this is what I want to do and this is how I'm going to do it. Because maybe the way that you want to do it and how you want to do it, it just may need to be tweaked. Maybe, and then also maybe sometimes you could be onto something. I'm not saying that, you know, the next person that makes them right and you wrong, because a lot of people told me, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that, you got kids and how are you gonna do this? And I ended up doing it, because one thing about me, I love when somebody tell me what I can't do, baby. You don't know what a mama of 5 children is capable of doing. And not only that, it's in me. It's just me. I love excelling. I love moving up. I love growing within a company. So I am going to do everything in my power that I'm capable of doing, advocating for myself, making sure that I'm set up to be at least considered for the next position. Making sure I'm keeping an open mind and be willing to pivot. And if it doesn't work out, then I'm willing to like go somewhere else and try it, you know. I don't stay stagnant. I consider myself a lifelong learner, and I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know everything, but I've lived life. That's I can say. I've experienced a lot of things in these last 38 years of my life that I have a lot of knowledge to share. That doesn't mean that I can't receive knowledge or receive anything from anyone who's younger than me, older than me, same age as me. Now, I take everything with a grain of salt because everything may not apply to me. But I feel like when you close yourself off and you like, oh, I'm 60 years old and I don't live like this, don't care nobody teach me, then you're being closed-minded. You can't grow being closed-minded. You have to be willing and you have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to not be right all the time. You have to be willing to take that constructive criticism. You have to be willing to make that pivot if you have to. You have to be willing to be open for change. Because it's a mindset thing. It's internal first. Before this outside stuff works, before any of the glitz, the glam, the money, and all of that, you have to change your inner. It all starts with your with your inner self, your self-esteem, your mindset, your healing childhood wounds, healing childhood wounds, healing trauma, knowing yourself and really accepting who you are, and that's hard. And being willing to change that person. I'm open book. I share my story with anybody, but for some odd reason or another, baby, I will not record and share my story on social media. I'm getting there, but I don't know what the fear is. I don't know why I fear it, but I think it's just more of because it's me putting out on social media. And then also, this is my story, and I'll be more concerned about how other people will feel about me telling my story, but it's my story. It's from my perspective, and this is how I feel about it. So I had to come to terms with that, and I had to be okay with that. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I've cut everyone out of my life who was not meant to be here. I prayed about it. I asked God to remove anybody who was not for me, who was not meant to be around my life, be around me, or in my life, or who's not meant to be on this next level with me, or move to the next level. And that's what has happened. He's shown me people's true self. He's shown me who's for me and who's not for me. And so with that being said, this walk is typically a lonely walk. Majority of it is you doing the work, and the work is not easy. I will be lying if I said it was easy. Nobody ever talks about, the behind the scene, the grind, the grit, to get where you are. And to say that it's easy, it's a lie. It's a freaking lie. I went through a divorce. I was taking care of a child who had autism. I ended up having another baby. Like, I was having life challenges after life challenges after life challenges. And that's how I knew I had I had a calling on my life for me to keep going through all of these challenges, and also being willing to stop making the same mistakes. Because whether you realize it or not, we go through the same thing over and over and over because you're allowing either the same person, or you're allowing that same that same type of energy, same type of treatment in your life over and over and over again. If you consistently keep falling into these same type of bad relationships or getting these same type of bad friends, you need to take a step back and evaluate yourself and find out what it is in you that you continuously keep allowing people to keep treating you the same way, because most of the time it'd be a test, and clearly we probably fail in it if you continuously keep having the same problem. That means there's something that you need to learn there, and whatever it is that you need to learn, you need to take heed of that and take that into consideration and be willing to let those things go. And I feel like, well, I know being comfortable, it's hard to change when you're comfortable. When things are comfortable for you and you don't know what the turnout is going to be, it's easier to stay in that comfort zone versus taking the unknown path. And I'm all about, let me take the unknown path. Let me jump out. I jumped out with 2 feet. I dived because I knew that I had to change something in my life to get a different result. I had to put myself where I'm the person in the room with the least amount of money. I'm the person in the room with the least amount of experience. Like, those are the situations and rooms that I have put myself in, because I can't grow with comfort. And in order for me to grow, I have to be uncomfortable, and I have to be around I need to be around those people. I have to be around those people who I can see and look up to where I'm trying to be at. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about really pushing yourself and putting yourself in those rooms where you walk in and you like, I should not be here. Go. You should be there. What is going on? Go. You should be there. You never know who's in that room. You never know who you gonna end up networking with. You never know who you gonna meet. You don't know. You don't know what you don't know unless you go. So I just share a little bit just to say, to touch on how it is that I got where I am now, and where I'm going. I really truly believe in, again, like, being uncomfortable. And if you're comfortable in whatever situation you're in and things are not changing, then you need to change. You need to be that change. It's hard, and we all know, I was worried about that too. People going to judge me about getting a divorce, and but to me it was about being happy. It was about me loving me again. I have never been like, I've always been in relationships, and for these last few years, like, it's been, I would say, an eye-opener for me to be by myself, to be living by myself and with my children and taking care of my kids and not having that significant other, to the point where I prefer someone who has their own place. That's my preference. Because you gotta go. I don't want you here. I like my space. I like my closet. I like all of that. I want us to grow. I don't want anyone who wants to move in with me. I want someone who we move out and move up together. Cause I feel like if I bring you in, that's not what I want. I want growth. And if I'm bringing you into my environment, then how are we growing? Because to me, where I'm at is not my final stop. I'm trying to progress. I need bigger space. It's 3 bedrooms up in here, and they're pretty tiny. And I've had to get rid of a lot of things just to be able to even be in here, and just to be able to have a smaller storage. So, like, I know what it is that I want. And I know that that's going to require change, and that's going to require a big leap. That's going to require me to buckle down on myself, because it's going to require more resources. And so, which means that I have to get out and mingle and mix and just, be myself again. And I feel like I lost her because I was so like, when I look back on like my old videos and like my posts and my reels and things like that. Well, actually, I wasn't even doing reels at the moment. At that time, I was doing mostly just posting, and I had more like, you would think it would have been harder for me to post my body when I was in not so good shape versus now, and all I'm doing is talking. And it makes me nervous. It makes me, I guess, yeah, I felt the same way. And I ain't gonna lie, like I had my friend, she actually was in the background pushing me like, post it, post it, post it. And I posted it. And she supported me all the way. Like, she was there alongside me the whole time I lost all my weight. She was there with me when I ended up getting pregnant with Naya. And we kind of fell off and haven't talked ever since. But I really needed that support, and I really feel like her being in my corner and being like, girl, post that picture, forget what they're talking about. That's what gave me the encouragement. Like, I didn't realize how much I lacked in self-esteem and being confident until I started doing my weight loss journey. I wasn't as confident as I thought I was. I wasn't confident at all. I did not like my body. I hated it. Just like now, even the little weight that I picked up, I don't like it, and I have to fix that. In order for me to fix it, I have to work on it. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Just to sum everything up, make sure you're pushing yourself, make sure you're constantly growing, make sure you're checking your mindset, you're changing your mindset, you're working on your mindset, you're working on internal. Make sure you are learning you, knowing, your hard nose and setting those boundaries, and knowing where you need a little bit more of a push or somebody to hold you accountable. That's where I come in at, y'all. Going through those life challenges and still making it through. That's where I come in at. Building that confidence. That's what made me start doing life coaching, because I did all of that. I've been doing it. I've always did it. I've coached myself all of these years. Anytime that I found myself in a situation, I go in a hermit mode. I come up with a plan, and baby, I climb up out. It's just this time I ain't going back. And if I do fall off, I'm not gonna fall off the way I did before. I think I have more of a control on it now. I know I have more of a control over it now, and I know the signs of it, and I know how to deal with it. And I know that I gotta find me somebody to hold me accountable. I also like to hold my own self accountable. And I talk to myself crazy. I'd be like, girl, what's wrong with you? Just like when I was falling into negative Nancy mode at work, like, no, this ain't me. I don't do this. No. So I had to start, back being positive and speaking positivity into my life and speaking positive to things. When I start thinking negative, I turn that negative into a positive right then and there. I stop that thought. I interrupt that thought, and I change that thought. And ever since I've been doing that, I feel like I've been getting more done at work. I've been feeling a lot less anxious, because it's not that I'm, mad about the challenges. It's just more frustrating of the learning curve, because I have to learn. And this is a tough one, a really, really tough one, because I know I put myself in quite a situation. And this is the biggest push that I've ever done at one time. I usually take little baby steps. I didn't do that this time. I told y'all I hopped in with my head, my feet, arms, all that, because I want to see what it is I am capable of doing and how quick can I get it done. So I did this move intentionally. I put myself in this job and career field intentionally. I put myself where I'm at intentionally, because I have something to prove to myself. And that's it's in me. It's in me. I know it's in me. There's nothing like a single mama who's trying to make it and do what she got to do and provide resources for these kids. They're getting older. They trying to go to college. Like, we want to take vacations. I'm trying to, pay off the little debt that I have accumulated. But I'm trying to buy a house. Like, so I know what I got to do. And in order to do that, baby, I got to get them resources. And that's why I chose to challenge myself. That is how I got where I am today. So I hope that me sharing this with you guys inspires somebody to, go ahead and move and believe in yourself, invest in yourself, pay for that course, do whatever it is that you need to do, pay for that life coach. Coach Lala, I got you. You can always DM me, you can message me. You can always send me an email at coachliferesilience@gmail.com. And I got you. I got you. Whatever you need me to do, hold you accountable. You need somebody to, help you with working out, go to the gym with you. Just that ear, or just to even motivate you, or to see something from another side, or if you're just going through life in general, or if you got a teenager who's, going through life, you having a hard time with it. I coach my own kids. I coach my teenage daughter. I've been doing it. I've been coaching her the whole 16 years she's been here, and she's still is stuck on that she wants to go and be a pediatrician. That's what she's always said for these last, baby, since she's been in kindergarten. She has never changed her career. But I also make sure I speak life into her. I coach her, and I do what it is that I can do to help her, because I used to be her age. I used to be in that situation. Now, I didn't get a chance to really experience high school because I was a teen mom, so I ended up having to drop out of school and do what I got to do early. And that's why I say there's nothing like a mom who has to take care of a kid, a strong mom. And just to be that voice to let people know, like, even though things are going on in life, even though, like, we all have death, people dying in our family, we all have life situations. That's why I made Life Be Lifing, because even though life be lifing, you have to still move. You cannot stay in that rut. You can't stay there. You just can't. You got to get up. You got to move. You got to make the first step. You have to believe in yourself. You have to keep it going. And even in the midst of the deaths, and even in the midst, like, I lost my baby brother to cancer, and I ended up going to Job Corps. I got my GED, and I think maybe a year or two before then. And I was homeless. I've done a lot of things in bad situations, and I just think that's that drive that kicks in me, like, hey, I gotta get out this situation. Something gotta change. While I was homeless this time, I started, while I was staying at the motel, I ended up becoming a certified phlebotomist. Like, I tried some stuff, and in the midst of all of that, like, I'm proud of myself, because I came out in the midst of all of the bad things, in the midst of going through those situations, and me being able to still pull myself together and push through, and now I'm where I'm at now. Baby, it's up from here. That's all it is. And I'm just want y'all to, whoop, whoop, hey, we got this. You got this. Believe in yourself. Invest in yourself. If you're interested in a life coach, Coach Lala, okay? I got you. I do teens, I do men, I do women. Wherever you are, I'll meet you there. I help you. Wherever it is that you're trying to go, we'll get there. So with that being said, thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for watching my channel. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. You guys keep posting your videos. Keep encouraging each other, whether y'all believe it or not. I don't think y'all realize that, but I love it. Keeps me going to see other people. Like, I done seen some people that opened up a hair supply store. Actually, my cousin and her mom, they've opened up a hair supply store, I think in Moberly. Like, that's nice. Like, I love to see these type of things because it keeps me encouraged. It keeps me going. It keeps me moving. Like, I love to see those things. I enjoy watching y'all grow. I enjoy being able to see it. And y'all better check out that soul session though. Look at me. I don't get no promote. I don't get nothing for it, but I love the soul session, baby. I am an old school. I'm an old soul. So I enjoy going there. Like, I feel like that's my happy place. It just speaks to my soul. It speaks to my soul, you know. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in. Love you. Bye.